There you have it. There's Make You Feel My Love. That's the way I play it. I suppose it's more akin to the Adele version than it is the Bob Dylan version, but it's really just the way I would play it. So this is a lesson request from Letitia Fitzpatrick, and I'm open to requests. Anyone wants to learn any songs over this time period, let me know and I'll do a little lesson for it, no problem at all. So we'll zoom into the right hand first and I'll show you what I do there. Okay, so during the verse at least, I really just focus on strings 2, 3 and 4. And I do that with middle finger, index and thumb. So thumb on the 4th string, index takes care of the 3rd, and middle finger takes care of the 2nd. And for the verse at least, that's all we're concerned with. So the picking pattern, before we worry about the chords at all, the picking pattern is, in terms of strings, it's 4, 3, 2, 3. And of course that must mean thumb, index, middle, index. 4 notes, although really that's only half a bar. We're going to have to double that up to complete the bar. Okay, so I'm counting that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, and the strings 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. And the right hand fingers is thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index. During the next bit, it changed a little, but I'll talk about that when it arrives. So now we'll look at the left hand. Okay, so this is the way I voice these chords in their simplest form. You may think of them as G to D to F to C to C minor to G again, A, D, G. But to try and recreate something closer to what a pianist would do, I voice them like this, and you'll see what happens. The bass descends chromatically on that 4th string. So this is a G chord. Again, forget about the 1st string. Forget about strings 5 and 6. Just focus on 2, 3 and 4. So this G chord is string 2, fret 3, finger 1. Then you have string 3, fret 4 with finger 2. Then string 4, fret 5 with finger 3. And if you're familiar with your chords, you'll see a G bar chord. You'll see where these notes come from. So pop that chord on, and like we've already talked about the picking pattern. Strings 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3. The next chord is a D, like this. Now you might traditionally think of a D like this, but all I'm doing there is I'm taking this F sharp, 1st string, 2nd fret, and I'm putting it here. So it's still a D chord, doesn't look like D, but it's still very much just a D chord. But it's what we'd call an inversion, I suppose, where we have an F sharp as the lowest note. But don't play it like this with the little finger, do play it like this. String 2, fret 3 with finger 2. String 3, fret 2 with finger 1. And then string 4, fret 4 with finger 3. Now I know this is a bit awkward for people, especially if your thumb up too high. That's going to be an awkward thing. So, but with a little bit of practice, it shouldn't be difficult at all. So, as always, same picking pattern there. So, and then you have an F chord. It's fairly straightforward. Same shape as the 1st G chord, but 2 frets lower. So string 1, fret 2, string 3, string 2, fret 1, string 3, fret 2, string 4, fret 3. And between those first 3 chords, try to see what finger 3 does. Then you have this, which is really just a C chord, but with excluding this C bass note. So it's just string 2, fret 1, string 3 open, and string 4, fret 2. Again, that's just an inversion of a C chord. It's still just C, really. And then you have the C minor, which we play like this, which is very unusual. You have the minor third and the bass here, the E flat. So that's string 2, fret 1, still, string 3 open, and string 4, fret 1. Okay, and then a G chord is next, and we play that just all on open strings. That's pretty straightforward. If you think of a G chord like this, of course string 4, 3 and 2 are all open, so you don't need to put anything on since they're the only strings we're plucking. Then you have A and D, and then I would do a conventional G, either this or this or this, doesn't really matter. Now that A to D to G, if you know the song, you'll do this naturally, I'm sure, but that's actually just a half a bar of A. 1 and 2 and then you go to D, 3 and 4 and then G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can do A7, D7, G. Those dominant 7th chords, I suppose, strengthen the pull from one to the other. That's 2, 5, 1. So, now my picking pattern there has changed slightly. I'll go back to the right hand now because it's that same picking pattern that I'll use in the next section as well. Okay, so this picking pattern on this A chord for me is going to be, you can do whatever pattern you want, this is just what I do. So thumb on the 5th, index on the 3rd, and then middle and ring fingers together on strings 2 and 1. Okay, and then I suppose to complete the sequence back to string 3 with index. So okay, so thumb, index on the 3rd string, strings 2 and 1 with the middle and ring fingers together, back to index. And like before, that's only a half a bar, isn't it? Although that's all we need on the A chord. The D chord, of course, bring your thumb up to D, and then G. Bring your thumb down to G. Twice, of course, for this one. Okay. Then we're in that next section. So I'll go back to the left. Okay, so that next section then we go into C. Just more conventional shapes now. In many ways, this is a bit easier. Now I run into it with a. That's just open A, hit with a thumb, hammer on the B probably, and then go into the C chord. And again, my picking pattern is the thumb, index, middle and ring together, back to index. But I wouldn't be at all overly fussy about that, whatever you think works. So C for a whole bar into G. Now into B7, rather unusually, and back to G. Okay, and then back to C, to G, and then a bit like earlier, you have A, and D, and then back to the start. The difference, of course, is not exactly the same. The difference here is it's a whole bar of A, not a half bar. D, and then the G. Okay, so I'll play that whole section actually. There you go, hope you enjoyed it.